All right, this channel, the Japan Reporter, used to go by Nabuto of Japan, has a video, Being Single Woman in Japan. This is going to bolster two things I've been saying all along. That one, women don't want to be with men, and two, there's no such thing as femcel. Now, let's try and get through the gaslighting.
I know.
Single? No, I'm just in a relationship with freedom. Yeah, that's why women don't want to be with men. I agree with that.
I get that, but let's be honest. Whether you're a man or woman, being single can be hard, especially around
No, harder on men because men want to be with women. Women don't give a shit.
Valentine's Day or Christmas, which is considered the most romantic day in Japan. So you see a lot of couples who seem much happier than you. And as far as in Japan, it can be harsh, especially for women, because if you
This tradcon bum and his false propaganda. See this pretty girl back here? If she wants a man's company, she can get one in a heartbeat. So he's spreading false propaganda. It's harder for men by a mile.
If you're over 30 and still single, chances are that you are told like this and feel
You're unsold and a loser as a woman. No such thing. No such thing. These women are single by choice. So they're winners every time.
miserable. So in Japan, the pressure to get married and have kids may be stronger towards women than men.
Well, you're full of shit or you're ignorant. Because young guys are badgered by the parents all the time, whether they're married or not.
Etc. We have more and more single women nowadays.
Yeah, the rise of single women. Now, it's either the men are rejecting the women or the women are rejecting the men. So which one is it? We all know it's the latter. No one's stopping people from getting together. The women don't want to get together with men.
And some of them say that they are totally satisfied and shining in their career. Who
Thank you for admitting it.
cares about public perceptions? So in the end, what's actually like being a single woman in Japan? Is it still stigmatized a lot? Do they feel miserable? Today, let's hear from single women about that and find out how they actually feel about being single. Hope you enjoy.
9年目です。
9年目。
That's right. It's been 9 years where this woman has lived on her own. And there's the mature woman, everyone, with her toys in the background, right? And she's happy this way. She's happy to live on her own. She has her toys, childhood toys. Doesn't matter. There's no shame in what she's doing by society. She's loving it.
結構長い。居心地すごいいい感じ。
And by the way, this is a beautiful woman, whether you want to say gorgeous or not, but she has all the typical beautiful female features. Right. This woman could pick up a guy in a heartbeat.
感じです。
寂しいな。
なんか、一人でいるときはあんまり思わないんですよ。やっぱり、
She admits it. I don't feel lonely. There you go, guys.
その外に出かけて、なんか、カップルとかいると、なんか、一人っていうのが、ちょっと寂しい。
So she's only measuring herself by other women. She doesn't give a shit about men. When she's alone, she's happy being that way. So what she's really doing is looking at other women, seeing what women do, and measuring herself again by what they do. The men are invisible to this woman.
いいなって感じたりしますね。
洗濯機ちょっと変な感じですね。ご飯は結構炊くんですか？
ご飯は一度に多く炊いて、サランラップにしてもう冷凍して、
Yeah, also so she doesn't like cooking. She just that's basically their version of the microwave.
するだけ。
料理は好きな方ですか？
あんまり好きじゃない。でも彼氏ができたら料理は頑張ります。今度料理教室も。
She'd kick a lot more if she had a boyfriend. You know why? Because she wouldn't be working. He'd be working, she wouldn't. So cooking would be easy then.
いるんですけど。
あ、そうなんですか。へえ。
婚活のために料理教室を始めました。
Yeah, she's preparing for future soccer. Her big What she's bringing to the table is that she can cook a meal. Big freaking deal.
結婚できるかなと思って。
This woman is happy being alone. She tells us so. And yet she's talking about marriage.
できなきゃダメだなと思って。年齢で周りがみんなもう結婚してって。
The older I get, the more I see women getting married. I want to back that up a bit. As I get older, I see more and more women getting married around me. This is what I'm talking about, guys. She doesn't give a shit about the guys. She doesn't want a man. She just wants to join the women's club.
で、じゃあ自分も彼氏探しとか婚活しなきゃって思って、チラシかなんかが入ってて、女性は何歳を過ぎると結婚できる確率が本当何%とかっていう。
This is bullshit. Chance of giving will be almost zero. This is bullshit. What it is, the man of the status that a woman wants will be picked already. But there's tons of lonely single men out there for these women to marry. That's what they're leaving out.
のを見て、で、なんかすがる思いで、これだったら絶対結婚できると思って、結婚相談所行ったんです。で、すごい頑張って、すごい。
This is a beautiful girl. Like I say, she's desperately tried to find one. This is bullshit.
エネルギー使ったんですよ。お金とエネルギー。ダメだって分かったんで、もう十分。
I find it didn't work. All the losers, all the guys who were swiping right were a bunch of losers. That's what she's saying.
だからでも本当満足です。やってよかった。もう婚活を目的にするの疲れちゃったんで、だから自分が好きなことをしている中で、なんかそれに合う人が。
She always wants to do what she just likes, right? So she's pretending there's some kind of alternative for her. When these women get married, they still do what they like. They just have a workhorse provider.
が別にいたらそれが一番素敵だなと思ってて。
Femcels, right? She's had past relationships. Actually, most of my past relationships, yeah.
あんまり長く付き合った彼氏実はいなくて。
Didn't last long. They didn't last long, but she had multiple, right? So there's no femcel, it's like I say. These men weren't good enough for her, and they bored her. That's what it is.
長くて多分2年いかないぐらい。
Less than 2 years, I think. She doesn't mention how many guys she's been with, right? So this woman's probably had like a boyfriend for 2 or 3 months and got bored with him and dumped him. She doesn't mention that he dumped her, right? So she got rid of them.
いや、みんな素晴らしい、優しい人だから、その人。
Whoa, what was that? What was that? To be clear, all my exes were kind and great. Right. This is what I'm talking about. They're kind and great, but that's not good enough for her. Okay, so she's not interested in being with guys. Right.
優しい人だから、その人が悪いとかじゃなくって、自分が分かって。
That's one of the few times a woman has ever been honest about anything. Now, this is where the gaslighting is. I didn't think I understand myself enough. Look, if she was honest, this is where she's a liar. She just wasn't interested in these guys, and she could just say so. But she doesn't want to look bad by saying all these nice, great guys weren't good enough for her. I wasn't interested in them.
ってないっていうか、どんな人が好きか分かんないとか、求めるところも多かったのかなって。理想があって。
I was expecting too much from them. She doesn't elaborate on what too much is. What is she expecting? What does she want from them? When he didn't meet my expectations, I easily got disappointed. Notice she doesn't tell you what the expectations are, right? Because that would make her feel bad. Exposing exactly what her sexual partner is about, what her measurements are.
そういう人じゃないとなんかがっかりしちゃったりとか、勝手になんか自分の中でなんか求めるものと違うと。
Again, there's no There's no elaboration on what the qualities she's looking for are, right?
続かなかったりとか、やっぱり最初の
Since they were great and kind, obviously those aren't the qualities. She doesn't give a shit about that.
方ってなんかお互いに自分を頑張って見せるじゃないですか。だからそこだけ見て付き合ったりとか、そして慣れてきたら、あ、なんか思ってた人と違うとか、そういうちょっと浅い。
She's looking for an ideal. But again, they don't explain the ideal. If you asked her what her ideal was, she would give you a bunch of bullshit. The man didn't make enough money. He didn't have high enough status. That's it.
いいですね。
私の仲間が
仲間
もうあの人たちに私顔覚えられちゃってて、いつも来るとなんか寄って
Now, here's another pretty young girl. Bag a guy, no problem.
きちゃったりするんですよ。今日はダックにあんまり体に良くないから、ダックの体に言われて、うわまた仲間がやってきた。
お、
I
あ、本当
don't
だ。
care about her and her ducks. Let's get by this.
気はちょっとして、そうですね。まあ家に家族がいると、まあ話し相手がいるかなって。
She's living with her parents. And guess what, guys? There's not an ounce of shame for this girl. You know why? Because no one gives a shit. Men are shamed for living with their parents, not the women.
おばあちゃんどうですか？エミさん、早く結婚してほしいですか？
思いますよ。
思いますか？
Of course, I want her to get married. Of course, she doesn't want to have to look after this person. She wants a sucker guy to be her workhorse. She wants this girl to move out. This woman has her, sucker workhorse. She just wants to live there with him and, well, actually not even live with him. All these women want the same thing. They want to live by themselves and have the man working. She's like, hey, go get yourself a sucker husband.
あ、そうですか。
そうなんかいつも会うと、つって誰かいないの、彼氏いないの、早く結婚してせいよって。
Yeah, she's saying, look, you're at the peak. You could really get a good sucker, a guy with lots and lots and lots of money. And that way, if my husband died, so I want to retire, I could just jump on with you and him.
どういう人と結婚してほしいとかあんの？
この辺に近くだったらいいなと思って。
ああ、地元の人の方がいいですかね。
まあ両親も結構うるさいもので、なんで彼氏はいない。
Yeah. So she's saying, Nate, same here. I want you around, but I don't want you taking up my living space. So I want my daughter to be someone who has a sucker husband out working wherever, could be miles and miles away. But I know I can just have my space to myself and then get up and call her and get together with her when I want to and be girlfriends.
ないのつってもう3時までに結婚しなさいみたいな、はい、言われてちょっとまあ焦ったりはしてますけど、なんか SNS でそういうの上げる人が本当最近多いですよね。
Again, that's what it is. We see tons of couples. She doesn't give a shit about being with men. She's just looking at what other women have and saying, well, I want to be like them. She cares about the women, not the men.
インスタで上げる結婚しました、結婚式の写真です、子供生まれました、子供の写真ですみたいな。でもでも私の友達結構みんなもう今結婚しちゃっ
The babies are simple accessories to these women.
てるので、遊んでいる時に会話でなんか私の旦那、子供の話とかしてて。
See, this is about what other women are doing. She doesn't give a shit about the husband. She doesn't give a shit about children. Most women don't. This is about what other women. And how is my status amongst my female circle? That's what is in this woman's mind.
なんかまあ話をでわからないなって思うこともあるし。
As you can see, another very mature woman with a baby blanket, right?
友達といる時でも心の中はなんかロンリーな感じがちょっとなんかちょっとそう。
今までの恋愛っていうのは、
はい、
どういう感じだったんですか？
どういう感じ？選ぶ人があんまり良くなかったかなっていうのは自分。
I'm not good at choosing the right guys. In other words, she hasn't found a guy with high enough status. That's it. like, even if I really like him, he actually doesn't like me so much. So she goes after high enough status men that they have options, right? That's what it is. And they actually have choices in saying, here's this other woman who's better looking than this girl and tries to please me a little more, or fake please me, that is. That's what's going on here.
自分が好きでも相手は自分のこと好きじゃなかったりすることが多いとやっぱり長続きしないかなっていう。
It happened to her a lot. Okay, you guys know there's all kinds of desperate men out there. So again, she's shooting, she's aiming for the bleachers. And it's either bleachers or bust, home run, or I'm not even going to bat. That's what's going on here.
なんか日本ってそのワイフが全部ご飯作ったり洗濯したり今やらなきゃいけないじゃないですか。お互い共働きで働いてても
You see, this is more of this horseshit. Even if she's working as much as him, it's expected. I've heard this horseshit all the time. Japan has all kinds of housewife leeches. The fact is, these women either don't work or they work part-time. That's what's going on here.
ワイフに全部任せるっていうのがなんか
And they're trying to make it, look what they're showing here. They're trying to make like this guy, they work the same amount, and then she works when she comes home. This is horse shit. Don't fall for this.
多分、文化今日は疲れてるからご飯作らないって言ってもなんかあ大丈夫だよってみたいななんか軽い感じの人がいいです。なんか
Yeah, I want to marry a man who doesn't give a shit if I work for a living, because I don't want to work for a living.
で今日はご飯作らないのみたいななんか怒られちゃったりしたらなんか、
女性、YouTuber とか、出てる人って、ファンがすごい
Yeah, Japanese female YouTubers are very popular and having a lot of male fans. Funny about that. So there's all these lonely male fans, but these girls, they can't find a boyfriend, right?
じゃないですか。
確かに
モテるんちゃうかなって思う。
モテる。でもなんかのび太さんが作ってた動画日本人はオーバーレイテッドですかねされてるって言っててなんかでもそれはあると思う。特になんか日本に住んだことない外国の人ってなんかそういう
Look, Japanese girls aren't overrated. All women are overrated.
偏見じゃないですけどなんかいいところばっか日本人
And they tend to be biased towards Japanese girls only because guys are desperate and think that there is this different kind of woman out there. Of course, they're wrong.
女性のいいところばっかり見てる期待値が上がりすぎてるところもあるかなっていうまあ普通ですみたいな
Yeah, too many expectations on us. Like they expect these girls to actually like them for themselves. That's the expectation these guys have. That's what they're searching for. They hope for a woman who will love them for themselves, and they obviously can't find it in the Western world. So they hope that these girls in other countries are somehow different.
希望する独身女性とか結構増えてるなというふうに感じます。
婚活をしている人たちは増えてます。本気で人の手を借りて婚活をしたいっていう人が増えてます。自分でダラダラ婚活じゃなくて。
それはどういった背景が？
コロナ禍でどうなっていくかわからない不安を感じる。家族ってものを見直されてるんですね。何人かと会えないとか決まりがありますよね、いろいろね。お店さえない、閉まってる。でも家族だったらいつも顔を合わせてお家でご飯食べれるのに、一人ぼっちでずっと家にリモートワークをしていて、ろくなことを考えてないんですよ。コロナうつが非常に増えてますけれども、で、そういう自分に気がつく人が
This all sounds like bullshit to me, guys. At some point, they realize they have no one to talk to because all the restaurants and that closed. But the people they want to talk to is other women, isn't it? So can you imagine being a guy who's chosen as a husband simply because the woman doesn't have any people, other women that is, that she actually wants to get together with and she can't? So you'll do. God.
いるんですね。人とコミュニケーション取らないよ。どんな人間になっちゃうんだろう。結婚しなきゃっていう人が増えてるんです。 今までは考えなくてもよかった。やることがいっぱいあった。遊びに行く
Since they had many places to visit, many things to enjoy outside. Exactly. See, all these women, look at all these single women. They're all together. There's no men there. They don't give a shit about men. Women don't give a shit about men in any country, period. This is female nature that you're seeing, period. Right? Can you imagine again that you got so-called lucky because you got married only because some woman was lonely and didn't have any girlfriends to talk to?
ところもいっぱいあった。でも今それがシャットアウトされてる。改めて自分の人生を見直ししたっていう期間になってるんですね。あとは会社の中でおつぼねさんたちが結婚できなくてヒーヒー言ってる人たち
Those women look so lonely.
がいっぱいいるわけでしょ。で、意外と虚しそうなんですって。で、それを見て、ああなりたくない、ああなりたくないって言って若いうちに。
We're all going to grow old. There's no reneging on that.
いらっしゃる方も多いです。
相手に求めていることっていう
はい。
のはどんなことが
Now, this is going to be rich. What are they looking for in a marriage partner? It's different depending on each woman. No, that's bullshit. This is one big long line of gaslighting. It's all the same.
ね、人によって様々。で、地域によっても様々。ですけれども、相対して総じて言うと、一番は経済力ですね。
Finally, that's the only thing they admitted. Financial stability, money, right. They want a man with status. They don't give a shit about him as a person.
ほとんどが子供を持ちたいです。41、2歳ぐらいまでは。
中には結構苦しんでいる方
いますね、いますね。
They aren't struggling. They just don't like men and don't give a shit about them.
そういったところにこう難しさを感じている。
大体条件じゃないですか。検索するにしても何
There
に
you
しても。
go. What's so difficult about them? You know, the filter results by certain requirements. Yeah, money.
もう、その、優しい人では出てこないんですよ。頼もしい人っていうのもないんですね、項目として。
Wait, what was that? I want to get back there. Okay. Just a minute. I want to bring that back here. But there's no research parameters like kind men or reliable men. Thank you.
人っていうのもないんですね、項目として。やっぱり数字なんで、学歴、年収、
Academic history, income level, area, or something like that. Area just means, are you close to mom and dad? Like that woman before. Do I have to get up and leave someplace that I like? That's what area means. Other than that, it's just the man's status. Right.
地域とかってこう出てきますけど、そういうところで高い方に行っちゃうんです。男性。
That's right. High spec men only. And specs mean what money he makes. Is he notable? Does he have fame and fortune? Seeing him like a high quality product. Exactly, because women do not give a shit about men as people.
オークションみたいにしていくんですね。でもっとこんなに年収1000万もいる、2000万もいるってどんどん高い方にしちゃって。で、結局はそういう人たちは自分を見てくれないとか。
Yeah, those men don't usually get attracted to them. Of course, men would love these. These are very attractive women. What it is, those men have already been picked off. It's that simple.
婚活偏差値って言うんですけど、ご自分が婚活をしている時のこの偏差値がわからないから、無理だろうというような人たちに押し込んでいっちゃう。でも全然
These men aren't out of their league. They've just been picked over.
受けてくれない。夢を追っかけていいんだけど、ずーっと追っかけていったらですよ、その間に年も取りますよねっていうことで、現実的に自分を
Older, more older. No. There is no wall. Everybody. There is no wall. These women didn't put enough effort to get the high status man when they were younger. That's true. But I mean, come on, dudes.
客観的に見てくれれば、大体結婚できるんです。
The right marriage is man of high status. I'm just going to be saying this over and over again. In Japan, the marriage rate among women significantly drops after age 40. You know why? That's not due to the men. That's true to the women. 100%. After age 40, they're happy being single, or the one man that could actually bribe them into their lives has already been picked off. That's it.
そう、難しくなるっていうのは、一人で生きてこれてる、成功体験があるの。
This is bullshit. She's trying to, this is more gaslighting. She's trying to say that they're just so used to living alone. No, these women don't want a male partner taking up space in their home. The man is simply supposed to work for them. That's what's going on here.
ので、感謝とか、出会えて、本当に嬉しいねとか。
Less likely, no, they never feel grateful. None of you women are grateful, ever.
っていうことが、時にはすごく少なくなってしまわれたり、よっぽど一人。
Yeah, living by myself is more carefree. In other words, they had no interest with being with a man. Look, everyone, I got to tell you something. I remember when I was a lot younger, I met these two college girls, and they got along real well. And I asked them, I said, why don't you live together and cut down on your living expenses? And one girl said to me, I want to remain friends with her. In other words, they recognize once you live, share a living space, you get on each other's nerves. That doesn't change if your partner, if your roommate is a guy.
のが楽だったよなっていう、また過去の自分に戻ってしまったり、特に日本の男性陣が若い女性を好むというところにありますよね。
This is bullshit. They're gaslighting you again. All these lonely single guys would take what they could get.
欧米は女性としての熟成度があるから若い。
No, Western men do not care about maturity. See, this is bullshit. Western men are showing up trying to get whatever they can get. They're proving exactly what I'm saying.
方を決して。
No, what the men in the West have already faced their rejection now. And this is what's happening to Japanese men now.
よしとしませんよね。あとは子供を持ちたいっていう男性はしょうがないと思います。ね、僕長男なのでとか、継承していく必要もあるとか、そこをと思われる。
I'm going to carry on my bloodline. That is dying off as we speak. It's meaningless. That's my bloodline is meaningless to a peasant in the modern day era.
男性が多くていらっしゃりそうな気もするので。
あとはですね、日本の場合は毒親っていうのがいっぱいいるんですね。強制してこれダメあれダメそれダメって断る。
Talks, relationship, they decide who she should marry and first reject her potential partners. Well, the mother's actually just looking at her and saying, I know exactly what you would want. You'd want a man of high status, and he's not high enough status for you.
本人同士はもういいって言ってるのに、こんな人は許さないとかって言って引き裂く人もいますので。
These women are using their mothers as an excuse because the woman that they showed at the beginning, she's not living with her mother, is she? Is she? Right. So this is an excuse.
回も潰されました。まだまだ日本は家と家のつながりっていうのが名残があるんですね。だから何々家、何々家。でそこにふさわしいかふさわしくないか。お母様と世代が違うわけじゃないですか、全然。そうすると専業主婦で
Yeah, exactly. The parents say this guy is a bum. He's not making enough money.
育ってますよ。お母さんたちは専業主婦ですから、時代的に。その感性であなたの結婚する人はこういう人よっていうのを刷り込まれても、社会背景がお母さんの世代と違うので、そこでものすごく悩み苦しむ人もいます。
Sorry, but if these young women met a man of high enough status, they'd just say, fuck mom and dad, and they'd get married to it. These Japanese have KFC. You think they're not adopting every other Western aspect? Come on.
クリスマ
look at these. Look at these. They're good-looking women. Any guy would go off. You know, you look. Nobita wants to bang these women. He wants them in his life. Come on.
KFC 食べたことないって。
そうなんですよね。
最後に食べたのいつですか？
最後に食べたのは多分小学校とかですか
Okay, I
ね。
don't know if this is even. What's this? Being single on Christmas. Often says, I don't know if I'll bother with the Christmas one. Don't care. Okay. Okay, I want to point out one particular case. Unsold women. These women are admitting that the relationship between men and women are prostitution. Thank you.
負け犬女とか負け組ですかね。
男性はなんか独身貴族って言われるんですよね。
そうですね。
Aristocratic bachelors, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Single men that they're called incels there like they are here. So this is more gaslighting.
なんか貴族俺レベルが違うな。なんかその売れ残りはなんでそうやって言われるようになったかっていうと、やっぱケーキってやっぱ25日に売れなかったらもう売れないじゃないですか。それと同じで。
Unsold or expired. Unsold, thank you. Again, you're admitting that it's prostitution. I'm glad they finally do. I'll point out this too. That's why many women want a boyfriend before Christmas. They're not interested in having a guy. Period. They just want to have him to show up in their lives, be there for the holidays, then get lost.
彼女はそうってもうクリぼっちじゃなくする。
やっぱりそのクリスマスの時に一人になるとすごい寂しいから。
That's how used men are by women. They don't give a shit about them throughout the whole year until Christmas comes along. And then they want you to just be their little lapdog for them. And then after Christmas, you can bug off again.
シングルの友達同士で、じゃあ25日はなんか女子会って大体決まってて。
なんで30近いのに結婚しないのは何かあるんじゃないかみたいな。
I want to see that. What was that again? Usually single women gather and party together on that day. Right. No. Because that's who they want to be with in the first place.
同士で、じゃあ25日はなんか女子会って大体決まってて。
なんで30近いのに結婚しないのは何かあるんじゃないかみたいな。それは言われますよね。
結婚できない女性って思っていても、自分は別にそんな難あると思わないんで。
そうね、別にそんな欠陥があるとかそういうことじゃないですよね。
Well, thank you, Nobita. You simp. Jeez. These women are not suffering in any way. They have some downtimes in their life. In this case, they're talking about Christmas when they're envying other girlfriends.
ないと思うんですけど。
いや、もちろんないですよ。とは言ってもですね、男に求める条件が高すぎるんじゃないかっていう。なんか理想が高いから、なかなかいい相手見つからないんじゃ。
Look at this. If you set the bar too high, I think finding the one would be difficult. Thank you, Nobita. You TradCon loser.
でも昔はちょっと理想が
How can you set the bar too high if you're in love with the man for who he is?
高かったかもしれないです。今の年齢になってかっこいい人とか言ってられない、なんか中身大事だなって思いました。
What are they going on about his looks for? All these girls talk about is how much he makes.
でもやっぱりかっこよくなくてもいいですけど、素敵だなってやっぱ思いたいって思う。やっぱり性格が合うってすごい。
That doesn't mean anything. So what do you find attractive? Right. His status, yeah. It's important that we're compatible. I've come from, oh my God, make me puke.
大事じゃないですか。すごい楽とか、なかなか私はまだそこまでいなくて。でもそれはすごい私求めてて、やっぱ一緒にいてすごい楽しいとか、楽とか。
すごく、なんでしょう。いい相手を見つけるのが難しいってその。
It's good to find a good man. What do they mean by good man? Because this jackass here admitting that all the men she got together, all her exes, were kind, great men. So what do you mean by good man? Right.
いい相手ってどういうことを言ってんのっていう。どういうこと
So good man doesn't mean kind and great, like she said.
と言われてるように思われます。
自分に合う性格といいますか、一緒にいてこうペースが合う人がいい。
Shares their values. Make me puke. You are delusional, Nobita.
自分に合うペースの方と出会いたいってことでしょ？ってことは自分は相手に合わせようっていう意思がないのかな？
Yeah, of course, dumbass. The man is chosen to serve. Duh. They're not going to meet him halfway.
だと思っちゃうんです。お互い様になってないっていう気がして。
そうですね。自分も合わせていかない。
もちろんね、そこのアジャス
No, he's full of shit. The man makes all the concessions. The women make none. Sorry, lady, whoever you are, but women don't make concessions. You're a woman and you should know better. That's why these women are single. They'd rather do without. The man is either 100% giving and accepting nothing, or it's over. And that doesn't happen.
トを見つけることですもんね。私に合う人っていないのよね、みたいになっちゃうと、もう男性たちも、
Match me doesn't mean he's not my little servant boy.
いや、この方と結婚すると自分ずっと下僕のように扱われるんじゃないかとか。
Maybe they're afraid of being, oh my God, afraid of being treated like a servant. Duh. They see the woman tells them that they're a servant. The woman tells them that that's what they're looking for in a man. Manhood means servitude.
なんていうかな、合わせることが楽っていう男性ももちろんいらっしゃるので、OK だと思うけど、そういう女性たちって、多そうだなと思うのは、とはいえ、
Thank you for admitting that. So he goes along with it anyway. Thank you. I want to get back there. But I'm afraid those women are likely to complain anyway. That's right. Because guess what, lady, whatever your name is, they never wanted to be with the man. They don't give a shit about him.
で、多そうだなと思うのは、とはいえ、私ばっかり、いろんな決め事するのは疲れると。
Why do I have to decide? In other words, she wants him to make all the decisions, but also the decisions have to be something she wants. She wants no responsibility, and yet he still has to please her too. So she puts up the stink, and he says, okay, what do you want? And then she says, oh, you're supposed to lead. You're supposed to know what I want and just give it to me. That's the ultimate in servitude. That's slavery. That's not a servant. That's a slave.
時にはやってもらいたいのよねとか。ってなっちゃうと望まれてる自分に合わせてくれる人って言ってたのに言われてること。
No, not initially. That's what they want. At some point, they want changes so selfishly. Not at some point. That's the starting point, lady. The point is the starting point. That's the beginning of the relationship. Women are entirely 100% selfish. Period.
とか途中から変わっちゃったかなとかね。
とは言っても、なんか自分からは少しは積極的に。
Notice Nobita is always around women, these women for his podcast, and he's always alone. What a loser. He's the loser. Look, can I bring it back to them? There's the loser. These two are the winners. They're alone because they want to be alone. He's alone because he doesn't want to be alone. He doesn't want to be alone, but he has no choice. He would shack up with one of these two supposed losers in a heartbeat.
とは言っても、なんか自分からは少しは積極的に行った方がいいんじゃないっていう。やっぱり完全に受け身だとやっぱり厳しいと思うんですよ。
いや、本当にそれはそう。
That's bullshit. These women could get on Tinder and be as passive as they like and still get a guy. They're simply not interested in being with men.
はい。まあだから こそまあ出会いがないし、そうなんですよ。そうなんですよ。なんか
みたいなシャイで。でもよく考えたらなんか若い時私自分から告白したりとかしてたなって思い出して、ただ大人になったらやっぱりなんかいろいろ考えすぎて。
Yeah, when you were younger, you tried to get the man with high status. Then you found out the ones that the highest status of them all were already picked out. So you didn't bother.
年齢をやっぱ気にしちゃったりして、なんかいいのかなとか気にしないかなとか相手が。まあでもやっぱりいい人はやっぱり、ね、死ぬまでになんかいるといいなって。多分やっぱ周りですよね。自分一人で別に生きてたら。
No, screw you people. I don't have to put up with this. I'm tired of all the gaslighting. This was only about what, 16 minutes long? It was painful. It felt like 2 hours of gaslighting. Women shouldn't try to get married to avoid feeling miserable and left behind. Well, duh. That's the only reason these women are trying to get married. That's the only reason why they put any effort at all. They don't give a shit about being with guys. They want to. They could shack up with loser Nobito here, or Nobita, I should say, anytime they wanted. He'd snatch them right up. Man, this video was puke-inducing. Man, these guys are losers. These guys are losers. These are the winners. Like I said, these women can get a guy anytime they want. They just don't want to. There is no femcel, and these women don't like men. These women don't like men, period.